Hey everybody, welcome to Wither and Bloom Studios. My name is Todd, your game master for Daggerheart at Emberfell tonight. This was supposed to be a live stream, and I, after 4, 6, 10 hours of prep, somehow never checked bandwidth, so couldn't get the stream out. So here we are recording it. You guys ready to play some Daggerheart finally?
Yeah!
Olivia
Okay,
looks like, weird. Jesus, could we please play the game?
She's like, I'm ready to leave, so...
It's gotten into our game time.
I know. All right, so let's do a quick recap from last time. Last time was session 1, and in that session, the party came together. You guys were at the Sickly Captain pub in the town of Horseneck, where the 4 of you met through various, different ways you came together. You were all in the same location. And the one common tie that brought you together as a party was an announcement on the part of the council of the town of Horseneck that was declaring a curfew that was being put into place because the sort of nearby town of Tortuga, the population had gone missing. And so there's sort of a heightened sense of an alert here. Nobody really seems to know what's going on, but the keymaster of the town could have been consulted for potential work. He was looking for a party to go and investigate the town of Tortuga and to find out what happened, and a few other personal errands. Misros went to the keymaster and received this charge, which he brought back to all of you. You all willingly accepted, and you set off out of Horseneck on the road, the high pass road, towards Tortuga. In the middle of the night, or early in the evening, I should say, when you decided to settle in for a long rest, you encountered a group of thugs that sort of got into a battle with you. They were fierce. You managed to overtake them, and we left off at the very, very tail end of that battle. That was a long session. I think one of the things we discovered in Daggerheart is combat takes some time. Not because it's a difficult mechanic, but it took a while to kill those guys.
It did. It was fun, though.
So here we are. You've bested this group. You still haven't taken the long rest. What are we doing?
I'm puckered.
We took a long rest.
Not yet. We were woken up in the mid-rest.
Right. Can we finish our rest?
Yeah, do we... Did we search?
What?
Did we search anything?
The bodies?
The bodies?
Not yet.
We ended with me blessing that guy.
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And then you said the catchphrase again.
Yeah.
What was the catchphrase one more time?
When the crow starts cawing,
yeah.
it's time to rub 2 coins together and get going.
That's how we ended.
Yeah.
Fucking
That's
stupid.
right.
So fucking stupid.
My pappy always said.
Did your puppy ever shut up? Because I feel like you should have started a long time ago.
Can I want to, since I'm still down on the ground by this guy, I want to search to see if he has any religious things on him.
Any religious
Like if
things?
he's wearing any type of necklace, if he has any type of book, any type of... Yeah.
Well, remember, they are shirtless,
Yeah.
first of all, and they wear these loose-fitting, what appear to almost be like a canvas-type pants that are usually pretty ragged, tied with a rope. They are fairly well tattooed, but they don't seem like they carry like a lot of packs and storage devices. However, there is a pocket on this set of pants, down around the side, almost like a cargo pocket would be. And you don't find any books or religious artifacts, but along with their crude weapons, which I described in the earlier episode, you feel around in the pocket, there's something in there. And so you pull the flap up on this and you reach down inside and you pull out what appear to be a set of goggles. There is a strap around the back of these goggles, and you kind of hold them up in the... There's not much light right now. There's a little bit of light from the moon. But you notice that they do have glass on the fronts of them, and it almost appears to have a pinkish tint to it. Instinctively, you tap your finger on them, and they're like not normal glass. They feel like they're crystal almost. They have like a ring to them almost. They look like they are very well made. Odd sort of find on a character such as this.
I think Tryphon would
I'm
put him
gonna
on.
say. Well, Tryphon's not here right now, so
Tryphon's got his own problems.
I'm gonna finish my inspection. I'm gonna say thank you, Lord, and put them in my bag.
Okay. Misthaven?
Yeah, so I'm sort of inspecting these dead bodies, and let's say I'm gonna be looking at the one that we were first speaking to before we found the other two.
Okay.
Do I see on exposed skin any sort of tattoos, anything that looks like it would be a marker of their organization?
So you kind of like roll the body over. You do notice that he's tattooed on the shoulder, and there's like a partial like series of markings down
Right.
the arm. They mostly look to be, I don't want to say ornamental. It
Right.
looks like there could be a language embedded in that, or some kind of there's a sort of a symbolic nature to what
Right.
there's there, but it doesn't immediately read to you like something that's discernible.
Gotcha.
So
Is he wearing like cloth fabric over like arms, legs?
over his legs, yes, he's got
Okay.
these pants on.
I'm going to. Sorry, I have this app open on my phone and it's buzzing. I'm gonna take my broadsword and just take a quick slash at that fabric just to open it up so I can see if he has any more tattoos on his legs or anything, maybe in a more concealed area.
Okay.
Yeah.
You pull out
Catch a
this
peek.
hulking
Yeah.
sword, which, you know, with little care for the dead body, you just kind of rip through this fabric. You guys hear this as he pulls it apart. You expose his legs, and sort of down the right thigh is a similar set of markings. But you also notice that sort of in the tattoo, there is an image of what appears to be a bone. That's the one marking that you can make out as being recognizable.
I'm gonna go over to one of the other bodies and make a similar incision in the cloth and inspect.
Yes, and you find the same thing in the same location.
Interesting.
The marrow.
That'll be all.
All right.
Come here, Dockside. Come here, boy. I'm gonna kind of like pat him on the head a little bit, you know, give him like a little kiss, give him a little treat because he got clocked with the little guy, and you know, got a little bruise up there, and I'm gonna tell him hey, go take a rest, buddy, go lay down. I got this.
Okay.
Give him a little treat.
He kind of takes the treat, walks away, curls up a little bit, and lays down.
Your friend there is pretty good at luring us.
He's good at what he does. He's got good eyes and he's got good teeth.
He heard him coming.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He's a good boy, man.
Do we know who might have been the leader? Was that the one that we were first maybe talking to? Did someone present themselves as kind of a leader, or just not really?
The one who spoke first, this is hard to tell. One, you had low lighting, right? But I would say that Misthaven was making the assumption that the one that spoke first was the leader.
No.
After more careful inspection of these bodies, though, especially cutting the pants off of two of them, you don't really find any objects or coin on them. The only thing that was really found was what Pius found, were these glasses. Now, whether that dictates one being the leader or not is hard to say, although they are a rather fine item. So I would almost say your perception thinks that it might have been that person.
All right.
Interesting.
Did I see Pius take the item?
Pius, were you trying to do this on the sly, or were you just sort of
I
open?
don't think Pius is sly about anything.
No, I was just
I've
kind of
been
like,
look at what I found. Look what I found. Praise the Lord. Look what I found.
I feel as though like my acknowledgement of Lathander's generosity towards me with these would have been noted.
Okay, so you probably saw Pius
So
find
then
it.
maybe after realizing that these other people don't really have anything and that person had something, I want to go over to that body. I have an ability. I don't quite know what I want to do yet, but I'm going to sit down next to that body, and I'm going to, I guess, start to meditate a little bit, and I'm gonna touch that body So I guess I'm gonna touch that body.
Don't
Oh,
touch that
word.
one.
Wow.
Well,
That's
I'm
all
gonna-
right.
Word.
I guess I would go for the head. Kind of grab
wow.
the head.
Okay.
Right for it.
Not that head. You were exposing the other person.
Pious?
That's your
Right.
business.
Pius thinks
I-
that you're preying upon them, and I'm gonna stay here.
Kind of. I mean, maybe you can help me.
I'm
with
gonna
this.
join. I'm gonna join.
While touching a corpse that died, this is death connection.
Ooh.
While touching a corpse that died recently, you can mark a stress, which I will do in a second, to extract one memory related to a specific emotion or sensation. Which that's where I don't know what to do with yet. I mean,
Well, what emotion would you want?
I don't know. Like, they attacked us, so...
Anticipation.
Well, do you have to state the emotion or the fact that you're just trying to extract upon an emotion?
Yeah, it says a memory related to a specific emotion or sensation.
Oh, so do you give the specific?
That's kind of how I read it. So I didn't know what.
Well, I would think that just for the sake of the narrative, you could attempt to do this and we could fill that in with both the sensation, the memory and the emotion, or the
Yeah.
memory and the sensation.
Yeah, I was gonna kind of leave it in your hands a little bit.
Does it say you get the memory? Or
It says you extract one memory
One memory.
related to a specific emotion or sensation.
okay.
So I'm just gonna. I mean, I'm gonna try to make a connection just to get one of their last memories, I guess.
And is this based on a roll?
No, I have to mark a stress.
You mark a stress.
So I guess it's just a ability. I'm marking a stress.
You sit down next to this. Now, this is the same body that Pius removed the goggles from, correct?
Yes.
All right.
I went over to
I'm
that one.
still here.
And Pius is still sitting beside you. You notice as Inoki places his hands on the head of this fallen thug.
I'm gonna look at him with a smile, and I'm gonna place my hand mildly uncomfortably close to
Okay.
theirs.
Inoki closes his eyes. Your hands begin to sort of feel this light vibration through the body. Almost seems to almost channel down into the ground, almost as if you're connecting once again with that, almost the mycelial network that you did earlier. And you sort of, as you close your eyes, the backs of your eyelids turn from that darkness that would normally fill them when you close them at night to this wisps of almost pieces and bits of smoke. You travel inward and down, and all of a sudden a picture becomes very clear to you. It's a landscape, pocked with a few buildings here and there, but the edges are unclear. The edges sort of like dissipate into the diffused sort of aspects of the memory. And you see everything through, oddly, a pinkish tint. It's almost like the world is either burning or the sun is setting, but there is this pinkish tint to everything. Directly in front of you, you see a human woman. She is incredibly muscular, but she also has some of the telltale markings of a druid. But she's also incredibly well built, and on her hand, she has a massive leather braided harness that runs up her arm, and sticking out off the end of the harness are 3 leashes that go out in front of her, and attached to each one of those leashes is a gargantuan 4-legged creature that is walking along as she sort of pulls against the strain of them wanting to move forward. And everyone that is in front of that scene has their back to you and is running. And the memory disappears. Oh, and the emotion that is sort of filling this space is one of rage and triumph.
So, okay, so just so I picture it correctly. The woman was facing me?
No, the woman has her back to you,
Oh, okay.
and she's holding this
She-
leash. So
okay,
you're
so I
walking.
see the
You're
back of a
essentially
woman.
walking behind her,
Okay. And
Yeah.
then people are running.
running away from you.
Okay. I guess I'll come back from that. Did I recognize the creatures?
No. I'm going to say you did not.
Okay. The Pius is like right up on my...
So, Pius, you didn't extract anything from this, obviously, because the
No.
ability's not yours. However, I think overall, you definitely felt you felt a little bit of the power of this thing happening between Inoki and this thug. Whether it was an energy or a warmth, you could feel something, a transference of some sort.
So I'm gonna, I kind
I
of
know what the fuck you're gonna
do one of these to see if like he's opened his eyes, and I'm just gonna go on top of your hands and blessed be. And I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk away.
Well, that was nice. That was really nice, you guys.
Okay.
It's good to honor the dead.
Did I
Where-
inspect? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, where's everyone else if you're walking away?
Did I inspect
I'm giving you your space.
the thigh of this guy that they're looking at?
Did you inspect what?
The leg of this guy that they're looking at?
Not yet. No, you did the other two.
So as they're finishing this up, I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna swing. I'm gonna open up that same side, and swing away from where people are, right? So in the other direction.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Thank
To
you.
specify. Cuts his head
and
off.
open that
Make 'em,
shit
yeah.
up. And the second, like the fabric sort of just like splits open and reveals the thigh, and I sort of pick at it with the tip of my sword, and drag it down. You know,
What you,
Bone
what
tattoo?
you doing over there?
all three of them.
Similar situation, but mildly different on this one. There is the bone tattoo on there, but then directly below that bone, there is a single round dot.
That one's new though. That dot. None of them had it. The same bone, but this guy, that dot's not.
Would I be able to
Another two.
infer anything, being from the area, inferring that this is a symbol of like the marrow?
I think it's pretty easy to extrapolate this
Right.
idea that the bone and the marrow, the marrow is sort of related, that there seems to be something connecting these three. However, it's also, just from the standpoint of visuals, obvious the dot is intentional.
Yeah.
But
Would it be
you don't know
similar
what the
to like a teardrop in a gang.
It's unclear to you at this time.
Didn't they tell us that they were part of the marrow? Yeah, so we know that. Because they mentioned the dude that we're supposed to.
Yeah, but if we ever need to look in the future, check out the thigh. It's always
Check
an
out the
option.
thigh.
I mean, it's not always easy, but
That's pretty personal area.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, maybe you get them in bed.
I'm all right.
You know, these guys are pretty hardcore.
Okay.
Though.
Been there, done that.
Oh, don't let him know.
I made a slight connection with this one. So
Really?
yeah, I kind of went into its mind, but
Is that something you do often?
something I can do.
Can you do it to
Impressive.
living people?
No, just dead people. It's like you
Like a fungal thing?
suck them of their last memory.
Why did you have to say that?
I don't know. That's what I said.
It's weird. You made eye contact with me too. You
You're,
said-
It's a
you're
little.
standing right there.
said
but-
It's a little dark.
Anyway, the surrounding area was pinkish. It was a weird shade. There was this woman holding
The
three
goggles are
massive
You didn't see them.
I didn't.
beasts.
Did you?
Were you hiding?
Did he see the goggles?
Well, like we said, you weren't exactly hiding the fact that you found them.
So I'd assume that possibly he had the goggles on.
I mean, the connection could be made. I don't know if you necessarily saw that the lenses were pink.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, no, I don't think you saw that the lenses were
You
pink.
just saw
You
the
saw Pius find a set of goggles, but
Alright.
it hasn't really been shared with you.
There was people running from this woman. Didn't feel good.
Interesting. I don't know. Describe the woman.
Big, maybe a little nature-based. She had on this like leather harness. These 3 massive beasts that she was leading.
Interesting.
I don't know what they were. Do I have a description of the beasts or not really?
The beasts were gray in color that you could see in this. They were on all fours. They were incredibly large, and from what you could tell, just by the way the one turned its head in the pull, that it had an elongated snout, and it had some pretty large eyes.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll explain that.
Would I
That's the
recall? Would I
best I
recall
can
this
see.
woman?
Just by that description?
Yeah.
No.
So,
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know.
Burly woman. Well, you know.
I mean, this Draven Barlow, that's a man, right?
Not that we know. I don't
Do
know.
we know?
Did they specify man?
I just heard kill a guy and short.
Could be a woman. We could be searching for a woman right now. A burly woman.
Can I like as they're talking? I want to kind of take the Can I like
Just gonna
inspect
peek
the
the
goggles
goggles.
more?
Sure. It is dark. Do you have dark vision? You don't.
I don't think so.
You don't have any kind of like ability to see at night.
I'm a frog.
Okay. It's dark out. You do pull them out, and they the strap that goes around them is leather, and there's a really finely made brass tightening apparatus on the back of it that allows you to pull the strap through and appears to snug them on the face. They're mostly round in nature. They stick out a little bit of a distance, and the lenses actually have a kind of outward curvature to this. They're sort of a convex shape. They're really beautiful, actually. As you're handling them, you realize this is a finely crafted item.
So then I kind of want to like. I'm not putting them on, but I want to like, to my one eye. Does it make the world pink?
It does. It's a little hard to see in the dark because typically a pinkish red, anything in the red hue spectrum at night is going to be a little bit harder to see. But given what little light there is, you can sort of see a shift in hue.
So I'm kind of gonna like peek my head through through you guys because I was behind you guys.
Interesting.
Like
Interesting
so.
goggles.
These are pink.
I'm gonna walk up and snag him.
No, I'm holding on to them.
No, I'm gonna be like, your God commands I see this. And just
No,
take it
I'm
out.
not. I'm not giving them to you. I'm not giving them to you. I'm not giving them
all
to
right, kids. Let's not
Deny
fight
your
over
God's
it. Let's
will.
just talk about it.
you. It's not his will.
Keep it together.
It was.
You
I
can
heard
read
him
about
say.
him and find out his will. I'll
I
enlighten
did.
you.
I'm very familiar with these
Okay.
books.
All right.
But these make them pink.
But why would a couple of thugs have pink goggles unless they do something? So be careful. I don't think they enjoy pink goggles for the sake of having pink goggles.
They're pink goggles.
All I'm saying
Okay,
is
I'm
be
just gonna put
careful.
it back in my bag.
I'm distracted with this interaction. I'm going to. I believe I'm still sitting on the ground, chilling next to this body. I'm going to. I'm gonna take a mushroom off of my staff. My staff has mushrooms on it. I'm gonna break one off.
Typical.
Unlike the tea interaction, I'm gonna take that mushroom and I'm gonna stick it on the chest of this person that I was just examining, and I'm gonna use my druid ability of Wild Touch, and I'm going to. It says I can cause a flower to rapidly grow, and other things like, I'm gonna try and plant that mushroom kind of in the chest, and hopefully some more start to grow. Little.
So you're trying to propagate the mushrooms
Yeah.
out of this guy's chest?
Yeah.
Interesting. Is this usually in terms of magic, is this an instant reaction, or is this something that...
It says you can perform harmless, subtle effects that involve nature at will, causing a flower to rapidly grow, summon a slight gust of wind, or start a campfire, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So,
There is a section
Trying
of
to
the
add a
body. There is a... Misthaven, I'll get you one sec. There is a section of the body that is a little bit
busted open.
busted open and moist. So you're able to take the mushroom's base and sort of stick it down into that cavity. And as you sort of finally cast this little trick, you start to hear this, and you see them begin to sort of pop up out of the chest cavity and begin to multiply there.
From death comes life. That's beautiful.
Misaros?
It does, yeah.
Do you have anything of yours that's just like laying around out of your grasp?
Anything of mine?
Yeah.
I only came with the clothes on my back and my satchel.
No, like I'm asking you metagame.
Oh, metagame? I don't know. Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
You get some crumbs on it.
I'm gonna whip.
Except where I was sleeping.
I'm gonna whip out a gold coin. I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna be like, look at this. See that marking on the front? As I'm doing this, I'm gonna use my ability, pick and pull. I'm standing directly. I'm assuming from your action that you have your bag.
It's like a
attached to the
crossbody,
right.
yeah.
I'm sort of trying to like draw on their attention by pointing to like the markings on the coin. I'm using pick and pull. I have advantage on any attempt to steal something from a target, so I'm gonna try to get those goggles.
Do I do anything?
So why don't you go ahead and roll. That check is going to be what? Is that agility? That is probably going to be finesse.
It could be. It says either through stealth or by force.
Well, you're trying to do this through stealth,
Right.
for sure.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's going to be a finesse roll.
So then, what would?
You're going to have a. You're going to have an instinct. How would we do this? This is a good
I
question.
know this is something that we haven't dealt with yet.
I love that we encounter something we have not. So if this were the case of an adversary, they would have a difficulty number, and it would be Misaros' job to beat that difficulty number. So in this case, we could do a contest between your instinct and Misaros' finesse.
And I get to add my finesse onto that, right?
You not only get to add that, but do you have any experience that would also...
Let's see.
Just
And get to
pickpocketing
fully
frauds.
flesh out my
I'm noticing that by the two columns that say
that
thing,
just say
thing,
thing because I had to do it to
Thing,
level
thing.
up.
thing, and spatial awareness.
I did have to do that one. I would say I won't use it for now because I don't have those fleshed out, but I would say in the future I'll have one that's related to
Fair enough.
stealthy actions. But no, not as of right now.
All right, so both of you roll.
Do we roll both 12?
Yep.
And I got a 1d6 for advantage.
Oh, this sucks. You're taking my goggles. Oh, you're taking my goggles.
What'd you roll?
13.
I rolled a 6!
All right,
So
but
do I
did you
catch
roll
them?
with, when you rolled, Misaros, did you roll with hope or fear?
Oh, I didn't assign my hope and fear. I think... Oh, I think my lower one was my fear one.
So you rolled
I
a
think I
6
rolled
with
with-
hope.
But that counts
No,
for my
with
hope, right?
fear.
Because I rolled with
Wait.
hope.
You rolled with hope.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
you're sort of standing there looking at the markings on this coin that Misaros holds out for you, and you're sort of fascinated by it, when all of a sudden you feel a small tickle on your thigh.
Oh.
At which point you look down and you see the other hand of Misaros coming in towards your pocket and just gently tugging on the glasses.
I grab your hand and I'm like, Misaros, if you wanted a reading, you just had to ask. And I pull out my book and I'm like flipping through the pages.
I'm going, fuck, no. I was...
You just I've
I
been
wanted to
waiting for you to ask
I wanted
me.
to steal your goggles. Oh my god. I just wanted to
Why?
see them.
Oh,
No way in hell. You just said 2 seconds ago that you wouldn't give it to me.
well, because I was talking to our friends about them.
All right,
You just had
also-
to ask
I did.
politely. It is in with all goodwill and good intentions comes great rewards.
Also, for future reference, I never want to hear from a word from that book.
Not yet.
Oh, no,
Soon.
not ever.
All in good time.
Oh.
I hope you find what you're looking
Is
for.
there a good time? Cool.
Always.
Um,
Right now is a great time. I'm going to sit down crisscross. I'm going to read
I'm just tuning this
Never
out.
ends.
I'm inspecting the
You
goggles.
are a very loyal servant.
Is there
Thank
anything
you.
about like
I
the
didn't- that wasn't- that was
craftsmanship
in character.
that I would recognize in my time
been.
traveling as a wanderer?
Potentially,
Yeah.
yes. I would say that, as you sit down and look at these, first of all, the first thing you notice is that the metalwork on these, let's forget the crystal lenses for a second. You look at the metalwork and it is exquisite. Okay, so just the way the sort of, there's a rolled bead to the outside circumference that surrounds the crystal that is done with such care and precision, and the way that bead snugged down on the metal enough to hold those lenses in place suggests some really fine tooling and a careful hand. So you see that. Also, there are not much in the way of embellishments on these to sort of make them beautiful. It's just the fact that the very functionality of them is done in such a way. It's really, really well done.
Right.
So you think to yourself, this is dwarvish.
Right.
There's something in this that comes from dwarves and metalsmithing that is very careful. Now, the lenses, on the other hand, a totally different craft.
Right.
So you think to yourself, maybe this wasn't one hand, maybe this was an effort, a collaborative effort, but you're not entirely sure. But they're special. You would probably put the value of these, up pretty high.
Right. Understood.
Find what you're looking for.
I mean, it's obvious, but these definitely weren't made by thugs. This is
Oh.
fine dwarven craftsmanship. At least the metal. I don't know about the crystals, but I mean,
Well-
what do you expect? They're thugs.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
The very lucky find.
So the hour is late.
I'm just grimacing.
The hour is late. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what time it is. And not trying to force you into any kind of move here. I'm just saying
Right.
you're feeling the weight of the evening bear on you.
How's Dockside doing?
Dockside curled up and went to sleep.
I'm gonna kind of lay on his back
Oh.
and sleep with him.
Okay. He lifts his head at first when you lay down, but then quickly realizes it's you, shifts his position a little bit, and allows you to get comfortable.
How long until sunrise?
I'm going to say that it's probably going on midnight at this point, so you
Oh.
probably have a good 6 or 7
Gotcha.
hours before sunrise.
Okay.
I'm out.
Okay.
Who's gonna take watch?
I'm gonna be like, well, I don't want to watch anymore. I did watching, and a thing happened, so I think that's my turn's done. I mean, you have a god of light in your pocket or whatever, so you could.
I mean, I could.
Right.
I've never taken a watch before.
Oh, you have to stay awake the whole time.
Okay.
You can do that, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't trust
My
him.
internal dialogue is like absolutely fucking not.
I could go for a bit longer. We can trade off.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Just gonna
Okay.
sit down with a mean man spread against a tree.
Where's the long list?
Okay.
So I'm looking-
Okay. The night is uneventful. You've already seen most of the action, I think, that's going to unfold in a given evening. And so you get yourselves a decent night's rest. The evening is relatively calm. Weather's good. Air is clear. So you find yourself well rested in the morning as the sun begins to come up. Now, I must produce my map. Now, the Deep Pass, which is the road that you are on, that you are taking towards, the Deep Pass is the road past Misthaven. You are on the road to Misthaven right now. So, you left late, right? We left the sickly captain pretty late in the
We weren't
afternoon.
that far out of town.
No. So when you wake up, the road that you're on, remember how I sort of described the geography? You've got the sort of the bay to your left on the southern side of the road, and to the north you have this sort of upsweeping hill that mostly is covered by vineyard right now. All right, so you wake up to a beautiful morning.
I would have been watching. I would have woken up just in time to watch the sunrise.
Nice. Okay. It's a beautiful day. The sun is sort of rising, of course, over the land behind you, but the air is coming off the bay. It smells good. So
what a beautiful
I would have
morning.
finished my morning prayers by taking a dip in the bay.
okay.
I'm gonna kind of like pack up camp a little bit, get ready to move on.
I can't.
What?
I can't.
You can't
I
what?
can't. Every time she does that, where I'm just fucking staring, and then she like in character goes, I can't. It's so fucking funny.
Misaros, you are actually awake and sitting in the encampment, and you can see off in the distance. You can see Pius's small frog body, like in the bay, like popping
Like
around.
a buoy.
And
Just like...
I mean, honestly, at 3 feet tall, the seagulls aren't, like terrifying birds to you, but they're rather large.
They're ominous.
They're a little ominous. So you stay in the shallows for the most part. Sorry, what did you say? You.
I just said it was a beautiful morning.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were telling me you were doing something.
No.
My bad.
I'm gonna get some rations out and feed me and my dog.
Okay. All right.
You want some rations?
Is there anything
Got
at
some dried
the
meat.
bottom of the bay? Because I can breathe underwater as if I can on land.
You want to have a look around down there?
I just want to do a quick little
Good.
like
There you go.
seeing if Lathander
How's
has
your
any
friend?
morning gifts for me.
You dive down a couple of times and sort of, swim along the bottom of the bay. And, I mean, there's mussels and shells and, different types of little pieces of rock and occasionally a fragment of coral. But nothing that stands out as being like, there's no chest buried in the sand.
Heard. I'll get out of the bay.
How objectively, I just want you to, think, how clean is this water? Because frogs are really good at absorbing not only water, but poisons through their skin. Like in the water.
Do you want me to die?
In this region, the water is actually really quite clean.
Shame.
Let light shine upon you.
You should be careful, Pius.
Yeah, I feel a threat.
Um,
It's just more of a challenge, and I like challenges.
how do we just pick one of the things to do in a long rest and we just do it on our character sheet, or do we have to hit long?
Two
Where'd you
moves.
find it? Where'd you find it?
You get 2 of them and you just
Two
do it.
moves. You get to do it.
Just click on downtime. And
So
then-
now, if you click on downtime, it just tells you what to do.
Yeah.
You, on a long rest, you get 2 things that you can do. Tend to all wounds, so clearing all hit points, clear all stress, repair all armor, or prepare or work on a project. So my question is, because we've never done this, says describe how you prepare for the next day's adventure, then gain a hope. If you choose to prepare with 1 or more members of your party, you each gain 2 hope. Do you lose the hope that you had from the previous day?
I don't believe so. You can clear stress on a rest, but
Yeah.
the hope remains.
But the hope remains, right? Because
Right.
nothing that I see...
At least to
Yeah,
the
I
best
think
of my
it's
knowledge, it stays.
Yeah, there's nothing that I see that says you lose your hope or it restarts or anything like that. I didn't... So,
Well, I would
We'll
say,
go with
just
that.
from the
Just
standpoint
like
of the fiction,
Yeah.
to
You're
wake up
keeping
with a
your-
sense of hopelessness because you lost all hope would seem, I don't know, antithetical to the game.
So, for myself, I cleared my hit points, my damage, so I tended to my wounds,
And how do you all prepare for the next day? I mean, you know that you have a
Right.
full day's travel to Misthaven. Okay, so that's the first thing. This is the first leg of your journey about to be completed today. You know that,
We're about to get in a boat.
well, you may or may not get in a boat. It depends on how you want to go. You could take a boat from Misthaven and travel across the small inlet to meet back up with the road. There is a way to do that. It would shave an hour off the journey total. It's not a huge difference. But what do you think you all are going to do in anticipation of this? You know this road to be somewhat well traveled. It's not an incredibly busy road, but it's also not a desolate, empty place that you'll be in danger.
I think to prepare, I would maybe gather some more plant-like remedies, like some more aloe or something, that would help with some wounds.
Can I help you?
Yeah, and we could do that together. Two of
Okay.
us.
Yeah.
I know plants.
You do know plants.
I know plants.
There we go.
Yeah. With the dog, so us 3 boys are gonna rummage around.
Anoki, you kind of go over to the body that's still laying in the debris there, and you harvest a nice little patch of mushrooms that you managed to grow out of the chest of this thug last night.
My friend's doing.
Oh, that's
well.
pretty good, buddy.
Yeah.
That's just from last night. That's crazy. Damn.
It's a good thing to put those bodies to use,
What were you saying last night? From death becomes life.
From death
Something?
comes life. Yep.
I like that.
Another thing
I
my
see him
poppy
looking
used to
at
always
me
tell
like
me.
that. And I'm just keeping
beautiful
my fucking
thing,
head
really.
down.
It makes sense.
I'm gonna walk
And
over to
especially
Denise.
when people...
I dealt with a lot of death
Really?
back home.
You want to talk about it? Tell me.
Oh, not a bad thing. My
Oh.
family just helps people
Okay.
that are dying.
Dying?
He just says,
How do they help people?
Well, we have like a tranquil
I didn't even
grove,
ask.
Oh.
Tranquil growth, like a
Well,
final rest
what-
type
yeah,
of relaxation.
It's kind of a grove, but we're in a cave system. But it's near a giant lake, so some people from the town, they like to bring their
Elderly.
elderly there. And it's
You
a
guys
peaceful-
are the boat that separates the living from the dead.
Oh,
That's beautiful, truly beautiful. It sounds like a very serene place.
Yeah. So the mushroom growing thing is,
That's where you get your calm and peaceful demeanor. Wow. Where did you say this was?
You got any tea?
I always got tea on me, friend.
Can we make tea?
We make tea.
We make tea.
So as you are sort of having this moment with Dunal, you realize all of a sudden that a memory is starting to unlock for you.
Ooh.
A little bit of clarity.
shit.
New memory.
And you see yourself seated outside the cave network where you typically resided. But you're up high, almost as if you've climbed up on top of
Oh, okay.
the rocky sort of extra, or there's a rocky outcropping that you're sitting on top of. And you're looking out over the tops of the trees in this forest, and you can sort of look into the distance and see the sun sort of just rising. And you look down at a pack that you carry on your side, and you reach in and you produce a fairly large quantity of a mushroom that, as you look at it in your memory, you're not entirely familiar with as you pop it into your mouth.
Maybe that's why I fell.
So you've unlocked that memory, and I'm sorry, you guys, you were both, Misros, you were saying something before. What were you saying?
I see him coming in my fucking direction. I'm keeping my head straight the fuck down. I have little, whatever sort of pliers I would have. I'm just fixing my chainmail.
Okay.
I'm walking right up to them, and I'm sitting across. As I sit down, could I lend a hand?
No.
Oh, but my family is very much ones to fix things like this. I grew up fixing chainmail.
Oh, yeah. No, me too.
I'm watching them kind of struggle with this one link. You know, if you do an underhand grip, you could grab it.
You know what you could underhand grip?
The chainmail?
I can't even insult a person who doesn't understand what I'm saying. Actually, I would appreciate your help. If you could read a verse from your book quietly to yourself about 20 yards that way, that'd be great.
What if I just sat here and I didn't say anything? I just sat.
Here as in there?
Here isn't where I'm currently sitting,
Oh, no, there's poison right there.
but I'm sitting.
Oh, then you're poisoned. I'm sorry. You're gonna
So then I can
die.
keep sitting. It's not gonna do anything else to me.
No, you.
I'm
have to
gonna
get in
sit.
The water
I'm gonna stay
immediately,
here.
motherfucker.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay.
You
And
guys
I'm
are
not
having
gonna
this
sleep.
Just
conversation.
gonna hunker back down.
You're sitting there fixing your chainmail, and you're plopping yourself right down next to Misthaven. The two of you are further up by the campsite, I'm assuming, rather than down on the beach.
You were making tea. Yeah.
Okay, so you're making tea up by the campsite. You sit down. Misthaven's head is down. Like, he's just, like, shutting you off. And so you're there, and you're sitting there smiling, looking around. You turn to your right, and you look, and you see two human men
Oh.
walking down onto the beach. Both of them are carrying very, very long fishing rods and bags of gear. And they both turn and look at the two of you sitting there, and you're kind of curious creatures. But, you know, this is not an area that's not used to seeing people of other ancestries. They both look at you and kind of politely nod. And then they go back to their conversation. You know, they're talking to one another, and they walk up to the shoreline, and they start just walking about 20 feet away from you before they stop, put their things down, open up their tackle boxes, and begin to get their rods set up to fish.
I am gonna look at Misthaven, not looking at me, and I'm going to finish reading the little verse that I was reading to myself.
Thank God.
Close my book, put it away, throw like my little satchel over, and I want to walk down towards the men.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk down towards the man.
I want to walk down towards the men.
All right.
Did the
Closet
energy?
religious.
Isn't that a
They're going hand in hand,
trifecta?
really.
The vibe that I got from them,
Those are
did
two
they
things.
seem okay?
Well, they seem like locals.
They gave me like a nod.
They
Like,
gave you a nod. They seem like locals. They don't appear to be outwardly looking for friendship, but they also don't feel like they're aggressive
okay,
towards you.
so yeah, I'm gonna walk towards the men.
Okay, so you pocket your book, you get up, and you walk towards them. They kind of see you approaching and kind of just keep going about their business. The one guy's actually just sort of taking his rod, and he's like, and he throws it out into the water, and the line spirals off, kerplunk out into the bay. You see some kind of apparatus land in the water.
Wonderful day, gentlemen.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you both doing today? I'm coming to fish.
Yikes.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Talk about the fucking weather.
I gotta tell you, I took a dip in the bay this morning. There's a lot gonna be biting today, I can tell you.
Oh, well, that's good. Thanks.
Pius, nice to meet you.
Chevrilled.
It's like a firm handshake.
He reaches out, shakes your hand. It's got a little bit of a sliminess to it because
I'm
he was just
slimy.
picking up through like a whole thing of bait
Okay.
in his bait bucket and sort of putting it on the hook.
I'm gonna shout down. Don't let him read anything.
Don't mind him. He's
Kind of
like
like
a stick in
glances
the
up
mud.
your way and kind of goes back to tying bait on his line, and he's like, "You traveling?"
Yeah, actually, I'm new to the area. I'm just kind of passing through.
Oh,
I met some people in town earlier and kind of hitched up with
well,
them.
you're from Misthaven?
No.
I'm not from where you're from.
Well, myself, I'm from Vale.
Well, you said you were in town.
Yeah.
We know we're from
Where are we from?
the horse. What's it called?
Horse neck?
horse neck.
Horse
Horse
neck.
neck.
Yeah.
Horse neck.
Horse neck. Horse neck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Where are you headed?
Well, we don't exactly have like a destination in mind, as far as I know. I'm just kind of seeing sights, talking to people like you.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Lathander by chance?
No.
Could I enlighten you?
I'm not entirely interested in. Kind of casts his rod out into the water and looks at you, and he's like, "Typically, when you talk a lot, the fish get spooked, you know."
Oh, no problem.
No offense, son.
None taken. Absolutely none taken. I totally understand. You know, we fish a lot in my family. I get it.
That's interesting. I would expect you to be more the insect type, but It's all good.
Well, there's far more than ribbit. I'm gonna take the hint. I hope you have a great day, and I really do hope that you guys get a lot of bites.
Well, safe travels to you.
Thank you. Is there a way for me to walk away from them, but then kind of go to a different part of the bay and get in the water?
Oh yeah, well there's a whole arc, the beach arcs
Great.
all the way
Just eye
around.
them
So
up
you
as
could
walk
walk,
in the water.
gosh, you could walk
And
300 yards away if you wanted
I
to.
caught sight of their lure, right? Like I know what it looked like.
I'll say sure. Sure.
I'm going in the bay,
Okay.
and
It's got
I want to
chaotic.
try to get a fish in the water.
You want to try and catch a fish with your bare hands
Yeah.
in the water.
I am aquatic,
Uh-huh.
so I want to try to catch a fish
Okay.
in the water.
All right. You kind of get in the water quietly, stealthily. You get in the water. You're far enough away from
Yeah.
them at this point that you can do that. And you start to swim around under the water. It doesn't take long before you spot some fish, but now you're going to need to try and...
Yeah. So would that be
That's going to be
finesse?
agility.
Agility?
Yeah, that's going to be
Oh, boy.
agility.
Okay.
Definitely.
It's kind of like a Schmeagol move.
Okay, so I got a 14.
Okay. So you're swimming around. You see this group of fish. And was it with hope or fear?
Hope.
With hope. 14 with hope. You kind of, as an aquatic creature, you don't easily spook all the other fish. They just see you in there with them as other aquatic creatures. And you find a fish that's of a reasonable size, and you come up behind it, and you reach out and snatch for it, and it kind of just goes, and it like slithers out of your grip really quickly.
Slime on
Swims
slime.
away.
Slime
It was your
on
first
slime.
try.
Can I try again?
I'll
Will
let
it
you
be
try.
higher? Like a higher?
No, I'll let you try one more time
Okay.
at this DC
Okay.
before this.
Because I'm committed to the
I think if you
act right
failed
now.
at this twice, you might realize this
It's not
might
gonna
not
work.
be the thing that's going to
Okay.
work.
Come on. Okay.
Tom.
Okay. That was a 16.
Okay, that works.
Yes.
Like a bailiff.
That one was with fear, though. A bailiff.
The answer to your question is yes. Give me 5 minutes.
That's fine.
All right, so this time you spot another fish. You kind of swim up right alongside it, and then realizing you need to be a little bit faster, you grab it, and now you've got a hold of this fish. And you're sort of trying to swim and struggle with the fish at the same time. Now you got to go find his lure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will assume that you probably got within the vicinity of the lure
Yeah.
before you caught the fish.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do I see the lure?
Sure.
I'm hooking the fish to the lure.
Okay.
Like right through the lip of the fish.
Okay. I'm going to ask that you roll one more agility check. Now, this time, what you're attempting to do is simultaneously hold the fish, grab the lure and the hook, put it in the fish's mouth, and hook it
Also, aren't they gonna feel that?
without tugging on the line
Great.
They're
to
gonna
feel.
hook me.
This is
They're
great.
gonna hook me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Fly out of the water.
Oh my god, it's like a Jehovah's Witness.
This is going to be fun.
So it's another agility one?
It's another agility roll. This is a little bit complicated. I'm not going to lie, but I
Can you
like
use
what you're
hope?
doing. I really like...
Yeah, wait, hold
Can
on.
you use hope to like help you roll?
I think you can spend a hope to add
D6.
a D6, but I think that's specific to the person. That's specific to an ability. We should write that one down as we don't want to double check that. Can you spend a hope at any time to add a D6 to your roll?
Hold on, I'm trying to see if I have anything like that just in my...
In your general...
Yeah, hold on, I didn't...
Garrett, are you checking that?
Could I potentially use one of my experiences?
You could.
Let me see if I have one that fits the instance. No, not really. Did you find that?
It says you can get advantage from spending a hope.
Great. Use it.
Okay.
But it's, I'm on Reddit.
Oh, well.
Well,
Reddit's relatively...
I hope you roll a 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
when you look up advantage and disadvantage, it says some features let you roll with advantage or disadvantage, but it doesn't talk about hope. So now I'm going back and trying to find like a different section.
It says, just to be clear, you cannot spend hope to give yourself advantage, only allies.
Oh, so I can't
You can
really?
give your allies advantage?
Wait, that's weird.
That might be specific to a class.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. Well,
Did anybody find
that's
one?
a list.
Yeah, let's add that to the list.
Okay, so then, yay or nay for now.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Garrett just doesn't want to see me succeed at this
That's what it
fucking
is.
incredible, incredible fucking thing.
Now, before you roll,
Bring it back.
okay, there's a range of DCs to this.
Fuck. One of them is gonna be I get hooked, I succeed.
Yes.
It just doesn't work.
Yes.
Great.
Huh? Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. I have to do mental math. And that was agility.
Mm-hmm.
So it was another 16.
A 16.
Yes.
All right. So,
Okay. I'm scared.
with your right hand, you reach down and carefully and gingerly pick up the lure. Meanwhile, in your left hand, the fish is sort of fighting you. But you've got this lure in your hand, and there's a moment where you tug the line just as you're putting it into the mouth, right? And
No.
the lure sets almost as it goes into his mouth, and you let go of the fish, and the fish gets pulled up out of the water. The fish launches up into the air. You can see it break the surface of the water above you. But then seconds later, you see the lure splash down into the water and the fish splash down into the water. And almost. I set the DC for a full success on this at 17. You rolled a 6, so you almost got it. And finally, the fisherman actually saw the hit, right? Saw the fish come out of the water, but lost it.
Damn.
Sad times.
Damn.
All right, with that,
Really
I think we're
trying.
going to take a quick break,
Oh,
and we'll be back real soon.
damn.
What's up, everyone? We're back from our break after a little bit of an extended time, but you wouldn't know that because this just jumped from one frame to the next. But
Must be nice.
yeah,
That's right. The
Thank you.
magic of editing.
right?
All right, so you guys are finishing up your morning. You have prepared for your day. What is it we're going to do?
Getting on the road, baby.
Yeah, let's do it.
So
on
we
that
last
road.
left off with Pius sort of letting that fish fly out of the water. You swim ashore
Yep.
after this, and he's kind of pulling his line, and you see him in the distance. He's pulling his line, and he's putting some new bait on there and casting it back out. Misaros is still finishing up the chainmail on the beach and just kind of like hoisting everything up and heading back to the campsite. And the two of you are finishing up your cup of tea.
It's a nice day, man. I'm telling you. Very nice.
Decent too.
Shit, dude, it smells terrible.
Decent.
Good.
Thanks.
Alright,
Appreciate it. Nice.
this is a weird interaction.
Yeah. It's passed down. It's not-
Grow it.
Yeah, it was from the back. You know, I grow some of the ingredients in my backyard. Yeah.
Some of the ingredients.
Yeah. Some I have to scavenge for, you know.
Mm.
It is what it is. But it's a very near and dear recipe to my heart, so I hope it grows on you. Just don't put mushrooms in it.
There's nothing wrong with some mushrooms and tea.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe you should
I'm not a
try
fan.
it.
I'm not a fan.
Maybe you should try it.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe one day.
I don't know where we're going.
I do. Let's get going. How we feeling, guys? Ready
So
to go?
great. So great.
Where's the
So great.
preacher?
You here?
I'm like sloshing up from the beach.
Not that word. Hate that
Clothes are
word.
dripping wet.
It just
Yeah.
sounds like wet
Nice.
slaps.
You
As
feel
you walk up.
clean?
Go for
Yeah.
a swim.
I'm clean.
All right. You ready to get going?
You don't look clean.
When was last time you bathed?
Wow.
All right,
Sorry,
kids.
I'm a little snappy.
Let's get going. It's not 5. It's too early in the morning for that.
All right, so the party heads out onto the road towards Misthaven, continuing on your journey. You've got about a full day's travel to get there, and it's for the most part, you know, you will pass the occasional traveler Now, whether or not you decide you want to stop and have a conversation with anybody like that, or if you're actively seeking something like that out, well, we can note that and see if anything like that comes up. Otherwise, we could put you practically on the doorstep of Misthaven just for the sake of moving the story forward. What would you prefer?
Question: do we get hope for what we did preparing for the day?
Yeah, you'll get 2 because you prepared together.
I'm okay to jump to Misthaven.
I'm right too. I'm not particularly looking to interact.
Who's got the goggles?
I believe currently Miseros has the goggles.
You still have the goggles.
Yeah,
Just try them on.
not yet.
It was pink when you looked through them.
Kind of be dumb. You put them on the mysterious goggles.
I
we know
didn't put
nothing
them on,
about?
but I looked through them.
Okay.
You know, I heard a story of a guy who found these like kind of like a mask that was buried
This is oddly
in the
specific.
woods, and he decided to
Or
put on the
before.
mask, and his whole body started, just turning slowly into gold. And then he just turned to solid gold after a few days, and then that was the end of him. So,
Wow.
moral of the story is maybe we don't put things on our face without inspecting them first.
You know, that is a pretty common
I did
story.
expect
It
that.
takes a special kind of fucking idiot to do that.
I mean, I heard he's not a thorough individual. That's what I heard.
Right. Right. Right.
Just what I heard, though.
Right. Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Not a smart one, really.
I don't want to judge the man.
Yeah,
I don't-
probably
I
not
don't
that strong.
Can I see the goggles for a second?
Why would you do that?
I just have I have an idea. Can I see them,
Okay.
please? Thank you. I want to take it again. I'm not putting them on, but I want to hold it up to my eye, and I want to look around fully, and I want to see if anything stands out differently
Okay.
than it may have before.
Okay. Well, you are coming up on the town of Misthaven at this point. Now, as the sort of bay sort of arcs around this sort of curvature to the bay, there's this small promontory that sticks out that Misthaven sits on. So it's another port town, but Misthaven kind of is surrounded on 3 sides by water, unlike Horseneck, which kind of channels into a corner, right? So as you sort of scan around, you're able to look out over the water. You're able to sort of see the town of Misthaven. There is a pinkish cast to these things for sure, but nothing appears other than a shift in color. Nothing really shows up as being out of place. You don't see anything
Okay.
extra or less.
Well, that was my only idea. Who wants them?
I'll take him.
Who wants them?
I sort of snag him first.
I'm not going to touch
But he
him.
hasn't seen them yet.
It's too late. I have him.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna fully put them on.
Oh,
There we go. Put 'em on.
You
I'm
put them on?
Literally fully putting them on.
All right, you
Nothing
put them
wrong.
around your head. You sort of tighten the
thing
strap.
happens, Todd, I'm going to kill myself.
They fit rather well. Now, one
Right.
thing that's very different from you and from Pius is your eyes are more side set on your head, and Pius is a much more front set
Right.
of eyes. So you kind of have to work with the adjustments on it, but you are able to put them on your face. And there is this fully enveloped, it's almost like the world through rose-colored glasses. Everything kind of
Right.
has a pinkish glow to it. But even with a few moments of time, you almost sort of grow used to it, as
Right.
if all of the hues sort of adjust themselves.
Right.
Nothing seems to happen.
Does it? Are we by water? We
You
are by
are.
water.
You are by water.
Does the water, comparing them, taking them off, putting that back on, adjust the reflection off the surface, make it easier to look at? Is the sun easier to glance around?
There's no special polarization of the water or any kind of ability to see in the water better, and the sky, other than turning the pinkish hue, you're not really able to understand what these do just yet.
Not just yet. All right,
It looks good.
just gonna keep them on.
It's good luck.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Thank you. All right.
All right, look at this. We're pulling up on Misthaven now.
All right, so you guys come into town. Now, Misthaven is actually similar to Horseneck in terms of its architecture. Old port town. but much different in terms of its politics, in that there does not seem to be this sort of insular, tight-knit, clubbish kind of feel to things. It seems to be a little bit more open and free commerce, but there is a kind of somberness to the attitude of people that are walking around at this point. It is getting on towards evening time, and things are a little bit, I won't say quiet, but people seem cautious or skittish. As you enter town, you do notice some glances towards you that are not necessarily suspicious, but people seem to put their head down and hurry on their way.
How's Dockside feeling?
Dockside's glancing about, sniffing in a lot of places, like not breaking stride with you, but definitely stopping every once in a while to smell things.
Yeah.
Overall, maybe feels the tension a little bit.
Okay. I'll give him a couple pats.
The general population seems to be mixed here, but not overly diverse, right? So, you guys as a group, you being the only human in the group, are pretty diverse in terms of your makeup.
Yeah.
Misthaven doesn't seem to be quite like that. Mostly humans that you see right off the bat. An occasional smattering of a few other races like half-elf, dwarf, but nothing too far out there in terms of ancestry.
Any turtles?
Any Galapas?
Yeah.
You don't see any.
Are they getting weirder looks than me? I would assume so, but
Not entirely. Like, don't forget. I mean, Emberfell as a continent has a pretty diverse population. It's not like you're completely foreign to the eyes of people. But there tend to be pockets in terms of towns where sometimes there's a homogenization. Just, like Tortuga was a town of Galapas, right? So they're, birds of a feather. Sometimes that does happen.
Stick together.
Yeah. So
I've
Alright.
taken these glasses off 'cause I don't want to attract unnecessary attention.
okay, and you put them away.
Yeah.
All right. You're wandering into town now. Things are, the sun is sort of slowly setting. There's a few establishments here and there, a lot of houses that look like they're owned by fishermen or people that work the docks. Off to the left-hand side, there's a series of piers that jut out into the bay. On those piers, you see a combination of fishing boats, different types of very flat barges that look like they're stacked up with barrels and crates as if they're going to be taken who knows where, but shipping of, like goods. There is one small boat sitting there that almost looks to be like a kind of taxi where, rather than having fishing equipment and gear on it, it has like an inner section where you can sit down.
I'd like to check that one out.
Okay, so you're gonna walk out on the pier. Okay. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of people around with the sun going down. It's almost as if the docks have closed up for the day. But there is a boat there. You take a look at the side of the boat, and there in wooden block carved letters on it, it says Bunty. But yeah, it just appears
No
to be
one's around or anything?
You don't see anyone right in the immediate vicinity. Now, 3 piers over, you see a couple of people putting the last ties on a boat as they're sort of tying it down and putting it away for the night. There's a few fishermen off to the one side dumping the last load of the catch of the day into a few barrels and pouring ice over it, getting ready to, sort of put that
So
away.
I'm guessing it would be safe to assume that we'd probably have to hunker down until morning.
The sun is going down. People are sort of packing up.
Is this a hot climate?
In this area,
Yeah.
it's warmer, yeah.
How do they get their ice?
That's a good question.
Do you have an answer?
Are you asking the DM, the GM,
Yes.
this question? You would know just from being a resident of Emberfell that there are a couple of ways to get ice. There are a couple of arcane sources where ice is actually manufactured by, magic types that do that. And then if you are in further northern climates, it's actually brought over from the neighboring continent up in the northern regions. It's actually brought in on large sleds.
How do they keep it ice?
In underground shelters. So there are ice sheds. So typically there would be like a ramp that would go down into a subterranean place where the climate is cooler. Doesn't last forever down there, but yeah,
How did you know this?
I just made it up.
That's fucking awesome. I'm totally convinced.
Good.
Totally convinced. I was like,
But
some special insulation, whatnot.
well, but to be fair, even in earlier times, ice houses, in any climate, you would go and receive blocks of ice, and then you would bring them back and you would put them into an ice box, which would be well insulated, or they'd be stored underground. They don't last forever there, but it keeps them longer. So
Nice.
All right, y'all. Reckon we should find a tavern we can stay in for the night. I think we check out this Bunty, little boat named Bunty. Take it out in the morning. All right.
All right.
Whose boat?
Yeah, well, I don't know whose boat it is, or else I would have asked if we can get it now. But
Oh.
seems like they closed up shop. On the side of the boat's named Bunty. It's the one with the back carriage right there that we can sit in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down to steal a boat.
I don't think we should steal a boat.
Oh,
Why are we taking
I
a
thought
boat?
that's what you were suggesting.
It'll save some time.
Okay.
Unless you guys want to travel through the night.
No.
People seem a little down here.
They do seem a little down here.
I could help with that.
No, you
Well,
can't.
I don't know if you can help a whole town, but that's very
Oh,
optimistic
I could
of you.
help a whole town.
Help.
That's,
Oh,
I love, the intention.
I don't.
I'm going to help the town.
I think you are gonna help.
How
the
do you
town.
intend to
I
help the
support
town?
that. Why don't we go to the local bar and
Let's
help,
find a
the people in the
drinking
bar?
establishment.
Why don't we
I
help
would
them
love
first?
to find a drinking establishment.
Maybe we could find a place to sleep. Let's go there. Is there a local tavern we can go to?
there's a place called the Barnacle, actually, and this town is actually pretty small, so it's fairly easy to find.
Let's go to the Barnacle.
How do you intend to help the town?
I just want, uplift them. They seem a little...
By means of...
having them let in the light.
All right, you guys see the Barnacle over there?
What barnacle?
The establishment, the Barnacle.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go to the Barnacle. Yeah,
All right.
we go to the Barnacle.
All right.
Isidros is a little eepy.
All right, so you guys kind of work your way across the shipyard, up and across the street, into the center of town, and walk in the door of the Barnacle. Now, this is a real sort of shipping town. It's a little crustier, a little less upkept, but kind of homey and nice. You walk in the door, and
Are dogs allowed?
oh, absolutely. You can tell by the general demeanor of this place. You're not surprised. You're surprised there aren't a few other dogs in this place.
Okay.
But you walk in, dogs, the group, and there is a bartender that kind of leans back, sees you come in, kind of nods his head. You guys walk over. You're gonna take up a table. You're gonna go to the bar. What are you gonna do?
We'll take up a table.
Okay. You guys all sit down. It's not long before a barmaid, human female, comes over and kind of sees the whole table sitting there, and she's like, "Oh, welcome to the Barnacle. You passing through? You're gonna need a room for the night?
Yeah, we'll need a room.
Okay, we got a couple spaces. I didn't mean to, judge, but it looks like you guys have been on the road. You hungry?
Oh,
All right.
very.
Great. Well, we got a bunch of seafood specials that we typically stock, so I've got a couple of different things on the menu if you'd like. How about something to drink?
A beer.
Yeah?
Beer.
Beer?
The water is fine.
Water, okay.
I'll start with your house tea.
A tea. Excellent. Tea?
Tea.
Perfect. Okay, I'll be back. I'll be back.
I didn't catch your name.
Shirley.
Shirley, nice
Yeah.
to meet you, Pius.
Hi, Pius. It's a pleasure. I'll be back.
Don't let him. Don't.
Could I
Did
get
she
a-
not shake my hand?
She did not. She's kind of like standing there. She's got a bar rag over one hand. She's got this tray. She's
Okay.
scurrying about.
Okay.
The place is actually kind of busy right now.
Okay.
So,
Shirley,
Surely.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
could I?
No, not him. Lathander.
Oh my gosh.
Could I get a bowl of water for my boy here?
Oh yeah, sure.
And all she sees is like his two pharaoh ears, like
Just sticking straight
sticking up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Shirley, don't let him read anything to you.
Could you stop that?
Oh, thanks. Okay. All right, so Shirley takes off. You guys are sitting there. You notice what appears to be a relatively relaxed crowd now that everybody's in and kind of drinking and kind of feeling maybe the safety of the indoors. Not that there's anything ominous or dangerous outside, but definitely a different feeling between what you felt outside and in. Okay, the mood of the Barnacle is a good one. Just before Shirley shows back up with your meal, there is actually somebody that kind of walks up to the front of the room, pulls up a stool, busts out this big giant lute, and begins to play.
No way.
Can I go up to them
No way.
and ask to join? I'm a bard.
Yes.
Yes.
You
Yes.
can.
What do you do?
I could play a lute.
Do you
You
have a
never
lute?
asked.
Did
I'm
you-
going to ask to borrow their lute after they do a song.
You don't have one?
I didn't bring it with me. I left it back at my town.
A bard that left their instrument. Crazy.
I'm looking to get one from the
Crazy.
place that I'm visiting.
You're looking to pick up a new one. You collect a
Yes.
new lute everywhere you go.
Yes. Like a shot glass, but for
Or
lutes.
spoons.
Shirley comes back around with the drinks. She's putting down some hot tea. She puts your glass of water down and a nice big mug of ale. And she's like, I've got a stew with a really nice scallop mussel combination, spicy and a red sauce with, some local seasonal vegetables. She's like, we've got a fresh catch of the day. It's a whitefish. We saute that in a big black iron skillet with some butter. Really quite.
Shirley, that sounds beautiful.
That's really a good one, actually. I love that. What's that?
But
Butter. Yeah,
Butter.
butter.
How about old?
What?
Oh.
Oh, we'll get 3 of them.
3 of those?
You want some? Or you just want butter?
no, I want a stew.
That is.
No.
Hey,
No.
Can you order me a stew,
Whitefish.
please?
You can order yourself a
White
stew.
I'm
fish,
shouting from across the room.
Catch of the day.
Whitefish, catch of the day,
Butter and pan.
butter and pan.
Stew, scallops, mussel, fresh veggies, spicy red sauce.
You heard the man.
Mm-hmm.
He wants what he wants. But we'll have
I'm like
the stew. The one
Okay.
you just described.
across the room.
Yeah. So she's kind of writing this down. She's like, what about you?
Make anything with beer.
Do I make anything with beer?
Yeah.
I shouted from across the room.
Other than beer? No. But maybe we'll take that under consideration.
Yeah.
I'm up next.
What?
It's karaoke.
Do you have any other specials?
Well, I
can
do.
really
I do
see
have a
that.
mutton chop for those that don't really eat the seafood.
I'll take the
We did
whitefish.
The whitefish.
Yeah.
All right.
Classic.
Yeah.
Writes that down. She takes off. Now you're over asking the bard what?
If I could borrow any of their instrument to play a song next.
Okay. Well, you walk up just as they're kind of like starting up a tune,
Well, when they finish.
which sounds a little bit sea shanty-ish, actually. So kind of like begins singing, sees you walking up, kind of glances down at you and kind of nods, and then begins playing and starts singing this song. So a few moments pass and you're just kind of waiting there patiently. That song finishes. There's some applause, and he bends down and he looks at you and he's like, "Hi,
Hi.
what can I help you?"
Well, I was wondering, can I play a little something?
Oh, can you play?
Yeah.
Oh, well, sure. He's got a
Cool.
big tip jar out there, and he's
I'll-
just like,
I'll like flick him a piece of whatever. Right? I don't know how that works.
"Well, have at it."
Okay, sick.
Kind of hands his lute over to
Yes,
you,
I'm gonna take
which
it.
is actually kind of large for you.
Oh,
You know,
boy.
like it was a large instrument for him.
Mars loop.
So you're now sitting down behind this really large stringed instrument. So,
Now I have a quick question
Yeah.
about a mechanic of a thing.
yeah.
I have something that when I'm speaking to a person that I'm trying to impress, persuade, or offend, I can spend a hope and add a 1d4 to the action to roll against them. What if can I do like a general persuade, perhaps? Or like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, this is a performance that you'd be
Right.
sort of doing.
With that performance,
You're trying to
I have a
do.
motive.
Trying to persuade the crowd.
Not persuade, I'm trying to, maybe sway is a better word.
Okay. Yeah.
Could I do that? with
Sure,
that?
sure.
Okay,
I
cool.
think that's all going to fall under the same sort of presence role, because
It is a presence roll.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you could do that.
Cool. I just wanted to clarify
It's a
before.
rousing speech, maybe. But
Well, no, because it's
yeah, no.
that's totally different. Okay, let me see what we got going for me here. Okay, then that's a.
Can you tell me, before you tell me the number, can you tell me exactly what you're trying to do so that I can kind of at least set a
Yes.
difficulty on this?
Okay, my goal is I want to try, first of all, to match the vibe that they were doing. So you said it was kind of sea shanty. I can't say that.
Yes.
So, good tune.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be singing a song that has pretty present undertones of, letting light in, following Lathander's, presence in your life, but, subtle undertones of my song. And using that ability to kind of sway and have people be like, oh, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like, I resonate with what you're saying. That's kind of the vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
with that, it was an 18 with hope.
an 18 with hope. Wow. Okay. So you mount the stool
Yeah.
and take up this large lute, and you begin to
Oh,
strum.
wait, actually, hold on.
Yes.
Hold on, that's a dirty 20 with hope. I forgot my D4.
Nice, even better. Okay, so you begin to strum off a chord progression that's sort of very sort of jaunty and enlightening, and I don't even know what the lyrics would be. Do you know what the lyrics would be?
No.
Sing it. When you board your boats with a goose or a gander, don't forget the light of Lathander. I don't know,
It's rapping. Starts rapping.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you could swear that as this is unfolding, you look across the room and there's a couple people tapping a foot and, maybe bobbing a head, and they're just like, yeah, I don't know who Lathander is, but this is pretty good. It seems to be working.
how does
Can I
Misos-
send a tip over from Dockside?
Yeah, you mean put the tip in his mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah, all of a sudden the dog shows up and drops a coin in the bucket.
Oh,
And then he
that's
kind of
not
like
what
bows.
I heard.
You're having a hard time with this.
I'm gonna look over
I'm
at all
having
of
a hard
them
time
while
with
I'm
this.
singing. I'm looking
How-
at these guys.
Okay.
How so? What sort of swayage?
Well, because you realize that Pius is lighting up the room with some of his Lathander. That's gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
You dropped it all the way under the table.
Yeah.
Which one do you need?
I could find it.
Okay, because I can give
That's
you a
just
die.
like food rap.
But you realize all of a sudden that the room is sort of like turning their attention to Lathander's, the subject of Lathander.
Right.
You're just like, so.
This just makes me. I
But
don't
would
know.
that
There's just some sort of.
persuasion hit them?
I'm not gonna speak for them
Okay.
because I think
We know your stick.
I'm gonna
You know
say
it's fine.
my reaction is more in just seeing, because I'm pre-tuning
You can't get away
this
from
out,
it. You can't get away
I'm
from it.
pre-tuning this out. I've been hearing about it for days, and I don't like other people being happy because I'm not, right?
Wow. We
And
should unpack
just
that.
seeing a whole crowd of people who are letting happiness into their lives.
Can I see this
I
reaction?
really resent it.
you can see how
I
it's
really
faced.
resent it, and I resent you for it.
Hey, son. Hey, you all right? Hey, this is.
As
Yeah.
a
Why don't you let the little one just have a little fun? Why does it bother you?
I'm letting him have his fun. He's up there having his fun.
Why is it bothering you though, man? What's
just-
going on?
Just not a fan of it. I'm gonna get up and go over to the bartender.
All right, very talkative one, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. So the bartender's behind the bar. There's a lot of people. So he's, slinging beers and back and forth, moving
Slinging
quickly. Spots you and says, "Be right over."
All right.
So another minute or two passes, and he comes over and he's got a mug that he's cleaning out. He's like, "What you need?"
Got a couple questions for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You seen any Galapas around here recently?
Oh,
Do they often come up this way? Even sometimes?
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little busy right now, but it's a sensitive topic around
Right.
here, right? Because even after the Galapa War, it wasn't often that we saw them travel much. They became a little bit more insular.
Right.
But it's been a while, I'm not going to lie. And with everything that's going on in Tortuga,
Right.
and the rumors that are circulating, it seems Something's not right.
What are those rumors? And when you say everything going on, what do you mean?
Well, you know, we've seen some undesirable people passing through town lately, and you know, we try to get the town guards to force them out, and they do move on. But lately, just some unsavory people have been passing by. But
You heard the Marrow?
well, yeah,
Yeah. Those types of people?
usually, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, occasionally you get the rough and tumble every once in a while in this
Right,
town,
right,
but not
right.
with this kind of frequency. They've been more frequent.
No. And you said it's, you know, maybe with the here and there occurrence of a Galapa, just none?
I haven't seen any.
No.
I'll be honest with you. And, you know, I even had a few friends that, you know, would come in, regulars that would come into the bar, and I haven't even seen them.
Dead silent.
Quiet. There's a rumor that Tortuga's been emptied out.
Well, I won't lie. That's true.
You heard that?
Yeah.
So, is anybody going to do anything about it?
I mean, my friends are.
Oh, god damn
That one playing some bullshit up there, and
I'm like,
those two at the table with the dog.
it. This fucking guy, dude. First day alive. I'm not saying that because I'm not there, but
Well, I'll tell you what, I appreciate that, and if there's anything I can do to help you.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you got any sort of information at all, anything that you're holding back, anything that you can't say, or if you know anybody who might have some information they're protecting, please send them our way.
Well, if I hear anything, how long are you going to be in town for?
Passing through for now, but
Are you staying here tonight?
yes.
All right. I'll give you a discount.
Thank you, brother.
You know, I appreciate that. Anybody that's looking to do something to help this situation out, I'm on board with.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Misthaven, by the way.
Cran, it's a pleasure.
Is that what you're saying?
anybody look of interest in the
Got it.
tavern? Anybody that kind of like ranger types?
Ranger types?
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a instinct roll?
All right. First roll of the day.
oh, you haven't rolled yet?
Nope.
Jesus.
I usually roll up, but no.
Oh
Where
my
the hell?
god.
I'm
Oh
kidding.
my
I'm
god.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, thank you. I was like, what? So pretending I'm blind. I'm not the problem
You
here.
fingered that dice like 3
Oh.
times.
What?
Are
Whoa.
you shitting me? Wait.
That's me.
Critical,
That's a
critical success.
Yeah.
Ah.
Three and a
was it
three.
doubles?
Crit.
So
I
first you
forgot
thought you
about
rolled
doubles.
a 6, but you
Wait.
rolled a crit.
I forgot about the double thing.
Me too.
Have you had any of those
I was like,
yet?
is
I
this a
did.
shit roll?
Oh, we got to
But,
remember that.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
All right.
Is this a shit roll?
That's one of the major mechanics
I
here.
know. Wait,
If
so what
you-
did, oh, 3 and a
Critical
3.
success.
Yeah.
So you're looking around the room, and you do notice that, you know, in the true tavern fantasy story trope, and I had actually planned this in sort of a non-cliched way, but here we are. There is a sort of lonely, single individual sitting at one table who is sipping on a large goblet of wine and just kind of looking around the room.
Does he have his hood up?
No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna go that far. Yeah, he's smoking a pipe in the shadowy corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Some call him Strider.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm gonna say, stay, boy, and I'm gonna take my tea and go over to him.
Okay. You start walking over there, and as you get closer, he kind of breaks eye contact with you, looks down, fumbles through a bag on his side.
I'm gonna kind of just like sit down next to him. I don't really say anything yet. Take a sip of my tea. Oh, hey. Takes one to know one, eh?
I'm not sure I understand what you are saying.
Ranger to ranger.
Okay, what are you getting at?
I just think we're, cut from the same cloth.
Let me tell you something. I'm 160 years old.
God dang.
And you know how I got this old?
I do not.
By minding my own goddamn business.
No way!
You know, you sound a little bit like my pappy.
Don't fucking say it.
You know what he used to always say?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I have a feeling you're gonna tell me.
Yeah, I mean, those who don't mind their own business usually end up falling under a wagon. That's what he always used to say to me.
Well, sounds like your grandpappy might have been wiser than I would have expected. But nevertheless, here you are,
Where I am.
not minding your own business.
And that's the goddamn truth. You're an observant feller, and I appreciate that. I'm also, you know,
Bless you.
what race is this person?
He's human.
It's 150 years, all right.
Or appears to be human.
Yeah. You know, I've also, you know, been around for a while too, for sharing, you know, years. I'm in my 50s here, you know. I lived a long life just like you, friend. Now I'm just coming over, just to kind of ask about some events that have been going on recently.
All right.
I reckon that you travel the same roads up to Horse Neck and all that.
I might.
Why would a couple of bald gentlemen with bone tattoos on their thighs be skulking around that close to Horse Neck?
So you want to know about the marrow?
I'd like to know a little bit about the marrow, yes.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now that nobody around here with any sense of decency or goodness is a fan of that bunch. But you want to know why they might be hanging around Horse Neck, is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
The town is near and dear to me.
you know, I will say, since you're asking, and I'm going to assume you're not looking to join the organization anytime soon.
I wouldn't look good bald, friend.
Well, all right. I will say this. The frequency with which they've been passing through these parts as of late is certainly on the increase. And I've absolutely taken note of it.
You wouldn't have to know why or of anything like that. Any changing of circumstances in there.
Well, I mean, you got a few things going on, right? Number one, you got the rumors coming out of Tortuga that something's happening there.
Yes,
Right.
heard those. Yeah.
Number two, we've got an increased presence of this Marrow gang, and, you know, far be it from me, I would say that, you know, given their tendencies towards a dislike of anybody who doesn't look like them, plus the disappearance of what appear to be an awful lot of Galapas not long after a very long war, I can't help but put those two things together.
That would make mighty sense, wouldn't it?
Now, granted, I don't have proof of that, but it seems to make sense to me.
Vindication and racism. Interesting. Huh. You know, we're actually heading down that way ourselves.
Heading where?
Tortuga.
And what on earth would you be doing that for?
Checking out the rumors.
Now, that could be something that could get you in an awful lot of trouble.
With whom? With the Marrow?
Well, first of all, you got to travel the deep pass across, this, you know, the Stegador Peninsula.
Mm-hmm. I'm aware of the path.
In its normal day, that was a dangerous route. Now, with everybody that's out there, all of this activity from the Marrow and whatever other entities might be lurking, plus the disappearance, what makes you think you're, how many are you?
There's 4 of us.
What makes you think your party of 4 has a chance?
I'd like to think that I know my way around a little bit. I know a shortcut. Take about an hour off the journey.
Son, I'm not trying to one-up you here or anything, but I think I know my way around pretty well, and that's not a move I'd make too readily, so...
Any hints? Any suggestions? Any ways around the danger?
Well, not unless you want to take a boat all the way around the Stegador Peninsula, which, you know, is probably going to take you somewhere in the vicinity of, a week and a half.
Interesting. Do they come out a certain time of day, or is it certain? Is it just all the time?
Oh, you mean these guys?
Yeah.
No, they're on patrol whenever they want, and you're going to see a lot more of them before you get over there to Tortuga.
Interesting. What's your name, friend?
Langdon, you?
Doing.
No, it's a pleasure, Doonal. I didn't expect you sitting down here to be somebody I enjoy conversing with, but it sounds like you got some motive. Decent motive.
I try to do good, you know. I actually run a wheat farm up in Horseneck. That's what I do on my day-to-day basis. You know?
So,
But, you know, I like to help out the town and do my fair share of odd jobs, you know, ranger type things. I'm handy with a bow. You know, my dog side over there, is an incredible scout and companion.
that's good. Well, you know, I'll tell you what. I'll be honest. I'm a little nervous for you. Now, if you want to hire me, I can come along with you for a price. And I'll be totally honest, I wouldn't mind checking out what's going on at Tortuga, but I'm certainly not going alone.
Well, considering the fact that I have a home, I'm pretty comfortable, I've lived a long life, I'm willing to give you my share of the journey to ensure safe passage of our group.
Well, you might want to consult with your group before you hire me.
Of course. But that's just what I'm willing to do.
Well, I appreciate that. I'll tell you what, I'm sticking around for a meal and take a load off for about an hour or two, so you go talk to your friends. You see if you could use a hand.
Nice to meet you, friend.
You as well.
You said Langdon?
Langdon.
I'm gonna go back to the group. So,
Did you make a friend over there?
I did make a friend. Another ranger type like me. He's been around. He knows his ways. Are you at the table?
I came back.
Am I still playing?
You're just finishing up.
Okay.
And he says he's worried about the journey up through the Stegador Peninsula. You know, I've been through it a few times, but I heard that the tensions are rising and there are a lot of marrows around that area. He offered his services.
Did you talk much?
Not that much, no.
Beautiful. Fine with me.
How about you, friend? He said he could help us through.
What kind of services?
He'd go with a bow, it seems like, and possibly a sword. Kind of like me. He knows his way around that area a little bit. 2 trackers in the group. I offered him my portion. I think a little bit of help. I didn't know it was going to be this bad around that area. It usually isn't. Possibly would be nice.
I think that's smart and wise. Extra handle, always helpful.
Of course.
You know?
If you turn down a helping hand, you're not going to get another one.
What?
Is your grandpappy used to say that?
Oh, that one's mine, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
you didn't get the gene of good catchphrases then.
Well,
Well, I am not the man my pappy was. I try to be, you know, try to be.
Yeah.
It's all you can do in this life.
Is that one when the
Pious
crow
can-
calls?
Yeah, where's the pies?
Rub 2 coins
making
together.
noise up there.
Get a move on.
And do what?
Well, they're playing.
I saw that. Yeah. Are they done?
I don't know.
You
Is
finish
it
up.
Okay.
The other bard comes up, kind of smiles, nods,
Yeah.
and actually got a few coins in the bucket while you were singing that song. So kind of reaches in, he pulls a handful of coins out and hands them to you, and he's like,
Thank you.
"That was nice."
Thank you.
So.
Here you go.
Thank you. Gets back up.
Lovely
starts...
instrument.
Oh, thank you. I take good care.
One of the best I've played.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Yeah.
He starts strumming off another tune.
And I'm gonna
Everybody
skip
goes
on
back.
back to the table.
Now, the food's been served. You guys can now sit and eat, enjoy your meal.
Steamy there. I didn't say that in character.
You went.
Hey, friend, good
Hey,
strumming.
thank you.
You
Look
killed
at
it up
And
there.
I'm gonna show my little what I made.
So dinner's on you. No, I'm kidding.
Well, what I miss?
Yeah, I made a friend actually.
Oh, lovely. Who?
We
You
did
see
a
the
few
gentleman across the bar,
things.
the one looking skulky in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very nice fellow. His name's Langdon, and he's willing to help us get through the Stegador Peninsula. Saying it's crawling with the marrow these days. It's very dangerous, more dangerous than I'm used to it being. And he said he would come with us for my share of the loot.
Bartender also mentioned there's been a lot of marrow through this portion of the land, so we should keep our eyes peeled and our doors secured.
I feel like it's not the last time we're gonna run into them.
No, definitely not.
Probably not.
Seems like a plot point. Sorry, I just had to break the fourth wall there.
Did you say a plot point?
Yeah.
It seems like a plop.
It seems like a plot point.
Seems like a.
Well, how do you feel about that? Bringing in
The more the merrier, actually.
the more the merrier. That's
Yeah.
why I knew you'd be in on it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll bring him over.
Lovely.
All right.
He said he was really into books.
Let me get up and go.
All
Love
right.
to hear it.
You walk over to Langdon and what do you say to him?
I think we're in business.
Okay.
Why don't you come meet the fellas?
I prefer to keep to myself.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I've got a room tonight here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to pack it in a little while. I'll meet you downstairs here in the morning. What time you typically get on the road?
I like to get up at first light. Typical.
Okay. Well, I'll be waiting for you. I'll meet you outside, and we can get moving. Now, how do you intend to get out of here? Like, what's your planned route? Are you going to cross the bay, or are you taking the road?
It's gonna save an hour?
Maybe a little bit more. Could save you 2.
I like a boat. How do we feel?
Sure.
Let's take the boat.
Fair enough. All right, I'll meet you on the docks in the morning.
It's kind of like like an old dog kind of wanting to show off something that he knows that might help. You know what I mean? Old people like to be helpful like that.
You talking about this guy?
Yeah, I'm telling you, Todd,
Oh,
the reasoning for wanting to take the boat.
Right.
I gotcha. Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
So you get some guidance in your age
Yeah,
for what to do.
right.
Right. Such a
Thanks.
dick.
Old people
Such
like
Thank
a
you.
dick.
old people like to mansplain. You know.
Yeah, that's
It's called
right.
Old splain.
All right, so you guys spend some time
Geriatric
finishing your
play.
meal. You gonna take up a room for the night?
Yes, but I would want to. Has it slowed down a little bit?
It's starting to slow down. Things have died off a little bit. It is a weeknight, so people are kind of leaving a little early.
I would either ask our waitress or the bartender, whoever's available, if there would be any places of worship nearby.
Shirley kind of hears you asking about this, and she says, well, there is a local temple. It's a non-denominational temple that you could, it's just around the corner, actually, right off the main square.
Thank you. Very helpful.
Of course.
Thank you.
All right, well, if you'd want me to get you keys for those rooms, how many rooms did you need, by the way? Are you all staying in the same one? A room does sleep 4.
Oh,
Sounds
perfect.
good to me. Yeah.
Who's bunking?
I'll sleep on the floor.
Okay.
But, me and Dockside like the floor.
She comes back a minute or 2 later, and she's got a big old iron ring with a key on it. She lays it down on the counter, and she's like, up the stairs, take a right. Room 5 is down the hall on the left, 3 doors.
Do you have any wax?
Wax?
Yeah, just wax.
Like for a candle?
No, well, from a candle, just for my ears.
Sure, honey. Hang on, I'll get you something.
Thank you, I appreciate you.
So who wants to come to the temple with me?
Good night.
When?
Yeah.
All right.
mean, someone's got to go, though. If you need someone to go, I'll go with you. I don't want you traveling alone, especially with the marrow going around and all that.
When we were coming into town,
Mm-hmm.
what are the roads made out of?
The main road between Horseneck and Misthaven is a well-packed granular surface. It's not paved. Pavement is something that really is cobbles that you might find in a city,
What
but
about like in the city? Like,
in the town,
yeah, from
more of the same. This is not a paved type of town. There's a few areas down by the dock where it's actually wooden planked, but most of that from that point on is just hard pack.
Okay.
Well, you know me.
I'll
would
go
hate
with
to go
you
to
to
a
the
temple, but
Alright. You gonna be the only one that stays back?
no, I was gonna say, I mean, it took 4 of us to take down 3, so probably wise that we all stay together.
Yeah, can't have you going alone, son.
Thank you. Appreciate it. This will be
All
fun.
right, so everybody, yes.
I'm just gonna ask. I'm waiting for something real quick. You don't mind we just wait 2 seconds for it?
Alright.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for?
After you guys pay the tab a few minutes later, Shirley comes back and she just sort of nonchalantly places a glob of soft candle wax, sort of like a beeswax paraffin mist, little sticky. Places it on the
Yeah.
table.
Pass her a silver coin.
She kind of pockets it and winks at you, kind of like sweeps off into the rest of the space and keeps
Thanks,
working.
baby.
Baby.
Wow.
All right, so you guys are off to the temple?
Yeah.
Okay. It's only about a block's walk, so you head out into the night air. It's sort of salty with the smell of the bay. You know, you can sort of smell all the smells of the dockside and the fish floating in the air. But it is quiet. You hear the boats just sort of gently rubbing up against the different slips that they're in, and you know, there's a bell in the distance on a buoy somewhere out in the bay that clangs. And you, in minutes, are at the temple. The doors to this temple are always unlocked, and as you sort of enter, you see this very simplistic and sort of like homespun kind of colonnade of wooden columns that runs down the center with some hand-carved wooden pews, right? And there is a central point at the front of the building where there is an altar and a space that sort of opens up in sort of like a what do they call that again? The building is shaped like a big X, basically. And so there's a section where the altar sits in the center point of those 4 arms as they pass. The ceilings are rather high, and even though it is dark, you can notice that there are glass windows around one of the upper stories that allow some light to pass through when it is daylight.
Now, why would you worship at night if your dude's all about light?
Well, you can worship whenever. The rules are kind of secondary when it comes to Lathander. You do what feels right. More
Also,
so
maybe
than-
the best time to pray for the light is during the night.
That's a very good point.
Possibly. Todd, can I look out for bald people?
Bald people!
Well, currently there's no one in the temple, but while you're walking
On the way.
you may absolutely look out for bald people.
While we were walking,
I'm bald
Yes.
prejudice.
my question about the roads is, I'm looking for some
Baldness.
dirt.
Yes.
Can I find some soil?
Oh,
Dirt,
absolutely. So the
like-
hard pack that's in this town is a rather dead sort of dirt. You know, it is a hard packed dirt from, you know, just decades, possibly centuries of foot travel, wagon travel. It's, you know, but if you scraped it, you could probably get some up.
I mean, maybe as they go into the temple, I'm gonna scrape up some.
I'll stay out with him.
I got multiple pouches and sacks and stuff. I'll use my quarterstaff to, you know, kind of dig and break up some of that dirt, and I'm gonna collect a couple handfuls.
Okay.
Actually, gonna help him do that a bit.
Okay, so you're balling up this dirt.
Yeah, put it
Pulling
into a
things out.
pouch.
I'm
Other
using
pouch.
my shield to help sort of
Oh,
scrape
this
over
is
Scraping the ground.
that. Yeah.
that's
Jesus
working pretty good.
What are the two of you doing inside?
I need to roll for looking for bald people.
Oh, on the way over there?
Yeah.
No, you don't. You didn't see any.
Damn.
For bald people.
He wanted to roll so bad.
Fuck, dude.
I don't want to steal your thunder.
Oh.
I have a question. I
Yes.
have 2 experiences. My dog has experiences as well.
Yeah.
Both of our top experiences. Mine is I'll find them, and then the dog's is we always find them. You can't use them both at the same time, or can you? Because we're doing the same thing together.
Well, I would say that the dog then could have its own role, and you could have your own role.
Okay, and it would get the +2.
But one thing that you know is that, first of all, in a town like this, it's less likely that a known faction of thugs is going to freely walk around in the streets in the open. That being said, you might see someone hiding in the shadows, but the distance between the center of town where the barnacle is located and this temple is a mere 65, 70 feet. It's just around the corner and behind it.
Okay.
So it was a short walk. Now, I would say that let's keep that sort of awareness up because you know what you're looking for, number one, and you know they're about. So,
Can I make a roll for the
I was gonna say that earlier, but
Oh, +1 hope. I didn't do that. Can I make a roll for the night if I progressively should I do that?
you really want to roll.
Yeah.
He rolled
dying.
once the whole night. I'm over here
dying.
rolling away.
Just to have a sort of out-of-game Daggerheart moment.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that's emphasized in the way this game unfolds that is unlike Dungeons and Dragons is you minimize the rolls.
Okay.
Like you really minimize the rolls. And the reason for that is when you roll in the 2d12 system with hope and fear, there is this meta-commerce that sort of exists from that roll, and that is the acquisition of hope or fear, and then it changes the narrative of the story. The other thing that it attempts, I think, to combat is this automatic assumption that if you roll high, there's going to be a bald dude.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
Which I think, while I do like the way that sort of adjusts the angle of the story a little bit, I like to get away from that assumption that, I think a lot of groups, they'll do a perception check and then they roll a natural 20 and they're like, I know what I'm looking for will be there because I rolled well, no matter what it is. It's that typical character. It's like, I try to seduce the dragon. Natural 20. No, sorry, you're not having sex with this dragon.
Whoa.
I don't care what your role is.
Oh my god!
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make him roll for damage.
whoa.
Holy shit!
You can roll for donkey.
Oh my god, I'm sorry I said that. But you get the point.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to squash your roll. I want you to sort of be on alert. So just imagine your character now really looking around for this, because you would be.
Yeah.
Right? You sort of you got pious in your protection right now on some level, and you've already been hit once.
Yeah.
So,
Copy that.
okay.
Dodger.
So what are you doing? You're the one who wanted to go to the temple.
Yeah,
what are
are
you doing?
you in here with me or no? Are you hanging around? I'm walking right up to the altar and I'm gonna light a candle.
I would take a seat in a pew.
Okay.
I'm gonna light a candle. And then is there a space where I could be on the floor versus a pew?
Yeah, absolutely. There are aisles, and then
Yeah.
as you get closer to the altar, it does open up, and there's floor space around that.
I'm gonna, you know how you can sit on your knees type thing? Sit down. Why are we laughing?
I'm just like,
Sit down on my knees, and I'm gonna hold my little my symbol of him that I wear around my neck. I'm just gonna sit there, kind of in my silence for a moment, and then all I'm gonna say is, "Dear Morning Lord, what am I doing wrong?"
so sad.
So you're asking this sort of in your prayer. So let me ask you this. In your assumption or in your belief system, in your character's belief system, do you typically hear answers to those things?
The voices.
It's not so much voices as it is kind of signs, where something might align in a way where it's that's giving me a sign that things are going good type thing. Whether that's actually happening,
Of course.
it's up for
Of
interpretation.
course, of course.
But it's not like they speak to me, at least not as a young ribbit.
Well, I will say this. What's your hope count right now on your sheet?
I'm maxed out. On
You're
hope.
maxed out on hope,
Yeah.
right? And so here you are on the heels of a fantastic performance in the bar. You are sort of feeling really good about your travels at this point, and you are on the floor of this temple asking, what is it you're doing wrong? When you're flooded momentarily with a warmth that sort of pulses through your body, and you interpret that immediately with an understanding of just be patient. You feel like you need to just let it take its course. Take your time. So, and that's a very satisfying feeling to have in this space. Outside the temple, Inoki and Misaros are sort of gathering some soil.
Two very different experiences happening right now.
They are.
The dirt is sick.
They are.
The dirt.
The dirt. And so there's this kind of like, Misaros has the shield out and is kind of going shunk, and it's like this and this scrape and this hitting of the shield into the dirt and scraping, and there's this small pile of soil that's sort of developing there. But in that noise, cutting through the quiet of the night in the city, this kind of like shunk, you fail to hear these other shufflings behind you.
Fuck.
And as you're sort of pulling the soil up behind you, you turn quickly as you realize the presence of something right here to your right. And you turn and look, and here is this decrepit old woman in rags. Her hair hangs around her face. And she's got a cane, and she's walked right up beside you. And she like hits you on the shoulder, and she's like, hey.
Oh my god.
Gargatha is coming, and she's coming for you. And for you.
That's the buff lady.
Gargatha! Gargatha will get you. And
Remind
she
me.
kind of waves her cane in your face.
Remind me. Who is Gargatha? I've heard of her. I know, but who is
You'll
she?
know her when you see her.
No, I need you to explain.
She controls the beasts.
Cool.
And then she walks away from you
Ew,
Man.
around the corner.
Get off my lawn!
She just turn and walk with no limp.
Gargatha?
No, she's got a very slow and pronounced limp.
It's the fucking
Were you saying something?
I was saying, ma'am.
She pauses and looks over her shoulder.
When?
4 days.
Holy fuck!
And that's where we're gonna end tonight.
No way.
No, we're
4
dead.
days, dude.
We're dead.
Gargatha.
Gargatha wants to smoke.
That was the perfect question to ask,
Yeah,
by
that
the way,
was great.
you know?
That was great.
because I've got a countdown timer.
Oh,
Oh.
You're fucking kidding
Who the fuck
me.
is Chodatha, dude?
Gargatha?
Who is this lady?
She gargles
What if
these
she's-
nuts.
Oh
Jesus
my
Christ.
gosh. Yeah, you know what? The
Dude.
socks that he recommended, they're for you.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody, our music is provided by Pocket Bard. We are loving
Pocket
Daggerheart.
Sorry.
Come back and watch again. I'm not sure how well we're going to be able to get this up on the live stream like I've been wanting to, but if we don't worry. We'll be dropping it on YouTube as a recorded episode. We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Don't forget to follow. All right. Take care.
Bye bye.
Peace out.